We are in the time period between Passover and Shavuot, in the time of counting of Sefirat HaOmer. We are in an inner process of self-refinement for 49 days, preparing to receive the Torah on the holiday of Shavuot. We are now in the 7th week, in the week of Malchut, which is the week of kingship. In the past 6 weeks, we refined the emotional qualities of giving, self-discipline, compassion, of victory, acknowledgement, and bonding, in this process of refining our emotions toward constructive action. The 7th quality, Malchut, is unique. It receives everything that came from above, each of these qualities, and it brings them all into a new wholeness. Each of the 6 qualities reflects how God creates, and we experience the ability to become partners in creation with God. This is similar to how the 6 days of the week actively prepare for the 7th day, which is the Sabbath. And the Sabbath is also often called the Shabbos Queen, the Sabbath Queen. Malchut manifests Chana, which is the feminine presence of God in creation. Malchut transforms and receives what it gets, bringing it into unique reality. How do we experience the trait of Malchut? In Malchut, we connect to our essence. Each of us has the quality of royalty within us. We experience dignity, the inner empowering conviction that we make a difference in the world. Malchut expresses itself in actual thought, word, and deed. Here, God's intention is actualized, making our world a place where God is known. Malchut is royal and dignified, secure in its essence, feeling the responsibility of leadership, and yet it's the opposite of ego. Here, we feel humbled by the greatness of God's purpose, and we feel privileged to be a conduit. Malchus expresses in a dignified, royal way, with authority and devotion. The prototypical figure of this quality of Malchut is the figure of David, the king of Israel. When he was a youth, he was a shepherd. And even from that time, and throughout his life, he always sang praises to God. In the good times, in the many difficult times, in every situation, he found words to praise, to request, to approach and find God. And these words, these songs, became known as the Psalms of David. When Samuel the prophet was guided to anoint him the king, David was transformed into becoming the king of Israel. When he was asked how it was that he merited to be the king, he answered that he knows who the real king is. David was a true king, a true leader. And because of the greatness of his mission, he was humble. Because of that, he always looked to God and to the Torah for guidance and direction. At the same time that he was a king, he was totally humble. King David merited that the line of his descendants would be the kings of Israel. And the Messiah, anointed king, will be the descendant of King David. The process of counting the days of the Omer began on the 2nd day of Passover. We count each day for 7 weeks as preparation for giving of the Torah. On the 50th day, a united and refined people stood at Mount Sinai and were inaugurated as a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, as God revealed himself and his Torah on the holiday of Shavuot. May we each receive the Torah with joy and with innerness, and may we actualize our purpose in the world.